It's going to be Mother's Day soon, and everybody will be excited to get out into the greenhouses and be looking around at all the bright, beautiful colors, just like the ones we have in front of us today. They'll be great to be able to hang up either on our deck, around a shaded area, all throughout our backyard or in our living space. So today we want to talk about what are some of the care tips we need to think about when we're going to purchase our hanging basket. We want to make sure that our hanging basket has the hangers securely attached on. We want to make sure our plants are already thriving. We don't see any yellowing that's occurring around the root system. As we gently brush it, is there any insects that are flying out that might be a problem that we're going to be taking home with us? These plants are used to being inside a greenhouse setting. They're being either hand watered or they're being fed through an irrigation system. What you want to do is that you want to make sure that you're monitoring the water level of it. You may want to water it every 2 to 3 days, depending on if it was an irrigation system. If they were hand watering them, you can slowly integrate that out depending on the temperature outside. It may be twice a week, it might even be once a week if we're having plenty of moisture coming to it. Whenever we go to a greenhouse, typically they're using a water-soluble fertilizer, and we want to continue that process. We can change it over and add a slow-release granular fertilizer, but we want to make sure that we're incorporating it a little bit into the soil. So that may mean that we have to add a little bit of soil, or we need to add this water-soluble to our watering routine. We also want to make sure that we have good drainage holes at the bottom of our container. If you don't have any drainage holes in the bottom of your container, you want to make sure that you are really monitoring that water. We don't want it to pool at the bottom of our container because that will cause other issues of root rot. One care tip is that you may have to go as the blooms are emerging along and they're starting to bloom. We may have to take off those spent petals, and it's called deadheading our plants. And that is just a simple technique. You go down on your flower, down to this spent flower end, and then you can gently break that petal and that petiole off. What it's doing is releasing that stem now, and what it's doing is taking those spent flowers and removing them. Not only is it aesthetically pleasing, it also removes any chance for disease issues to occur on your healthy plant. What we're going to do with our hanging basket is we might have to train those a little bit. So you can see as it's hanging, if the wind starts to blow, sometimes as they're trailing down, they get around your hangers, and you might have to pull them around so that way they're going to lay down and they won't circle back around into your hanging basket. So you can see that this one is early in its development, but this one is a little more mature. If we're starting to see that we are fertilizing it on a regimen of maybe every 10 to 14 days, and it's getting too out of control and we're starting to see really spindly, one technique we can do, you can take and clip these trailers, bring it back up. You can see all this new growth that's coming from the center of the plant, and that will allow it to kind of bloom out, bush out again, and start some new growth that'll continue all the way into fall. So have fun with your hanging baskets, enjoy them all season, and look for more tips on our how-to videos.